Welcome to Chris Parkin Shooting Sports. This is a Steyr Scout in 223. I wanted to get one of these when I first started shooting, and I'm really looking forward to actually using it and reviewing it for you guys now. So stick with me and watch what we're going to see. And while I'm standing here talking to camera, there's a hare just walked past me there. The magazine has twin latches either side. They're easy to press together to just drop it into your palm. The magazine holds 5 rounds in 2 columns. It's very easy to load. They just clip in from the top, either in or out of the gun. Feed to the chamber is extremely smooth and ejection is positive. I especially like twin column magazine designs because I find they load far more quickly and easily. As well as the magazine in the gun, there is also an additional magazine underneath the buttstock of the rifle, and this is incredibly handy, especially when you're out night hunting and you don't want to be fumbling for additional magazines in unknown places or having to reload the current magazine in the dark. Overall length is 39.5 inches or 1000 millimeters. Overall weight is 3.7 kilograms or 8.3 pounds. This rifle is available in 223, 243, 7mm 08 and 308. Accuracy using 55 grain Hornady Varmint Express ammunition was no problem whatsoever, and the velocities available were quite acceptable. To set the single set trigger, put your thumb behind it and just clip it forward to engage the lower breaking weight. Trigger pull is 819 grams or 29 ounces. I found the single set trigger a little bit too delicate for comfort with just 95 gram breaking weight. I found it hard to maintain tactile perception of the trigger without accidentally setting it off far too early. Maintaining the trigger at normal pull weight was far more comfortable for me and what I would use in normal scenarios, and it was crisp and broke cleanly, so I was quite happy to continue with that. I think it's worth mentioning the bipod has full canting capability, so can't impart any stress or strain into the forend of the rifle, which could bring it into contact with the free floating barrel. That would of course change harmonics and affect your zero position or point of impact. A switch underneath the rifle allows the bipod legs to fold out. You do have to treat them without loading too hard because of course they do fold backwards towards you, but they do have strong detent clicks. You do have to be quite deliberate to fold them in. I found the rifle very comfortable to shoot from the prone position. The bipod was tall enough to shoot over grass, but not standing crops. But for that job, either shooting sticks or a tripod are excellent. It's notable to say that using a tripod with a clamp assembly on it, the forend was stiff enough that you could clamp the rifle solidly in position without affecting any kind of pressure on the sides of the gun, which might transfer through to changing barrel harmonics if the stock was too wispy. I'll use this rifle mainly for foxing, but I might take a few rabbits and hares with it as well. It is of course small deer capable in the UK for muntjac and Chinese water deer in this calibre, but in 243, 7mm 08 or 308 suitable for all UK deer species. So, I've proven the gun to myself on the range. I'm very happy using it. So I'm just going to cover a few more details about it. The muzzle thread is a 1/2 inch UNC, so I've got a moderator for that and I've been using that, you see it on the video. The barrel is 510mm or 20 inches and it's fluted. It does actually free float, even though you think it's actually locked into the forend. It's actually free floating, and I do like that facility about it. Now, one of the combined features of this gun is you can see how well integrated it is, because if we look at this sling swivel here, it looks like the bipod feet are going to hit it on the way down, but actually when you press the button on the underside, they actually fold out at a slight angle, which means that everything stays clear. And these sling swivels are super. I do like them. You've got to push them in, turn them up, push it, turn it, and out they pop. And once they're pushed in and turned, they're locked from rotating. And you've got one here, you've got one on the side at the back, you can put it on the other side at the back, and it makes the gun ideal to carry flat against your back, which is super. I do like this magazine system. They're so easy to use, twin column 223 and not that usual. And when you are using them, they feed well, they eject well, and the mags are easy to load in or out of the gun. I love the fact you can just drop the mag out, put another one straight in from the gun. Great for night use, because if you need to carry extra ammo, it's totally safe and secure in there. Just remember to take them out when you go home. I'll leave that as it is for now. What else can I tell you about? There's an Anschutz rail on the side of here if you need it or not. I don't think it's necessarily particularly helpful on this gun, but you know, we're not going to complain about that because it's certainly not taking up any space. I think I spoke in the main video about loading the bipod, and if you do load it a bit too hard, you will hear the leg click. Now it won't, you know, spring up and give away immediately. You don't want to use it with too much, you know, shoulder loading force on it. So I'll just pop these back down and talk through some of the other features. Length pull is quite short actually, it's 13¼ inches, which is 240mm, but you can put space system on here, which will space it all out for you. The recoil pad hasn't got a huge amount of recoil to handle. It's actually quite hard, but it is well textured and grippy, so it does lock into your shoulder and stay in your position. Other factors to talk about. This rail on top is actually a Weaver rail, not a Picatinny rail. Now I'm just going to take this night vision scope off because I've been just practicing fitting a few different things. Now, many of you will know Weaver and Picatinny are not exactly the same. The main thing to remember is that the claws will fit generally either type of rail, but where it comes into problems is the fact that a lot of Weaver and Picatinny items have little cross slots that slot in here to lock position from recoil. Now a Picatinny piece will not fit in a Weaver, so if you do go through night vision items, you'll find that some of them have got the actual part removable. So from here I can take that out. It's only a low recoil rifle, it's not going to make a huge difference, and I can just pop that on and just use the claws. But generally speaking, if you're using a Weaver item like these rings here, these are worn rings, that's Weaver compatible. It's not quite as wide as the Picatinny type stop, so as you'll have seen on the review before, this is what I've been using throughout, and it's a quick release system, so I can just pop those back on there with pretty good return to zero actually. And it means that this rifle now, I've proven it in terms of its inherent precision and accuracy capability using a day scope. It's only a 12 power, so you know, I didn't have the best aiming solution. Some of the groups are better than others, and good stable support did make them shoot better, but I've set it up with a normal day scope. I'm totally happy with it, and now I'm going to swap some night scope use because I want to use it for some foxing. I am confident in the rifle. So if I just drop these off now, what are the last things we can talk about? Well, we did mention in the unboxing video that this does have iron sights on it. The rear one is just here, and you can flip that up with a thumbnail or fingernail, and that's what's called a ghost ring sight. So essentially you're looking through that and that will expose the front sight. The front sight, so it's a little quick release button there, and that pops up, so you can see this here, and when I'm aiming now I can see the front sight through the ghost ring at the rear. That is a great backup solution and something not to be ignored completely. Now the bolt system is typical of Steyr. It is a great locking system. It works well, the handle's a great shape, it's got a slight curve to the arm on it, so it goes into the meter-y thumb there without interfering too much with your fingers and the rest of your hand, and you don't tend to slip off it if you're operating it quickly. I think this, along with one or two other rifles, is of a superior bolt design, certainly a bolt handle design. And looking at the actual safety catch, if I go forward here, just check this is unloaded, forward has got fire. It's all done on the roller at the back here. So pocket again, middle position is safe, but the bolt will still operate. Rearmost, the bolt is now locked, and unusual to Steyr, I can lock that handle down there, and that keeps it super compact for carrying. And when I put that safety catch forward, that will just pop back out. I'll show you that again. Lock down, safety catch forward, pops up, and I can then use it absolutely as normal. Trigger pulls have been crisp. The set trigger's a bit scary light. I'm not a huge fan of single set triggers or double set triggers for that factor, but I don't need to use one. I'm quite happy squeezing on this trigger, which comes in at a crisp pull, so totally happy with that. The stock is simple, it's quite robust, it clamps well into a tripod setup, there's no kind of interference with barrel harmonics from anything being squeezed unnecessarily. And overall, I'm very happy with this rifle, although it is perhaps slightly dated in its design, or was dated in its design 10 years ago. It's actually come completely back into fashion because it is great with all this space here for accessories to put your night vision on. And I would still say Steyr's barrels, they're hammer forged, they're some of the best barrels I've used. This rifle didn't really take any running in. I shot a few groups, thought I'm not aiming brilliantly with a 12 power scope, so I just concentrated really hard, shot some better groups with it then, and from different positions I didn't experience any point of impact shift either. So again, another fact going for it. I seem to be littered now with bits of scope and what's for it on the bench. So I'm very happy with this rifle. If you want to have a look at one, I would thoroughly recommend it because I like its slightly quirky way. But whereas 15 years ago the quirkiness was not necessarily that appealing, I think it has become so now because so many rifles are just another stock on the same action, all turn bolts. And if we take the bolt out of this rifle, that's coming out, okay, it's got 4 locking lugs on it, still gives you a 90-degree lift, but the bolt handle design means that you don't really have a problem with it being a 4 locking design. And of course, I don't know if you saw that then, but the way I get this bolt open or take it out of the gun is on fire, I lift the handle, rock the safety all the way back, and the bolt then comes cleanly all the way out. And that is the way Steyr's bolts work. So, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe and comment, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you can keep track of my regular uploads. Your comments are what drive me to make videos, and thank you to Sportsman Gun Centre for sending me this rifle, also the Zeiss scope, and also the night vision we've got too. And a big thank you to Hornady for the ammunition, which is of course a consumable product in a rifle. The 55 grain VMAX has worked beautifully in this. I'm very happy with it. Its thermal performance on Foxes is superb, so I'll be continuing with that. Keep your eye on my channel, you might see some more footage with this rifle in foxing format as the autumn comes upon us and then into the winter as well, because I don't think I want to send this one back straight away. I think I'm going to keep using it for some of my night vision reviews. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.